Hello, Mario! In this video, I'm going to take a look at annotative text where you want to change the scale of a plan. So first of all, I'm going to open my previous plan of mine in, as it turns out, AutoCAD 2016, and I've been using it recently, so it should show up in my plans to open in my recent plans. This is an annotative text drawing that I've done, and what I'm going to look at is maybe changing the scale of it from 1 to 50, which it is here, perhaps to 1 to 40, just to see what happens. So just to zoom in here, here's our finished plan at 1 to 40 with a lot of text and stuff in it, all set out very nicely. And so I want to do another plan at 1 to 40 for some reason. So what I'll do is, first of all, I'm just going to copy this particular layout here, create a copy, okay, and that's it there, and then I'm going to rename that floor plan 40, because it's going to be at a 1 to 40 scale, like so. So there we go to there like that, which is fine. Here we go, and we come in here, and here it is. Now if we go into model space here, which is what we want to do, and we want to change the scale to 1 to 40, we must first unlock it because it was previously locked, and then go to 1 to 40, which is like that, which is slightly bigger. And straight away we can see that all our annotative text in that just disappears right away. Now the reason for this is because the 1 to 40 scale is not listed in the scales that are associated with that annotative text. Now just before we move there, just for now I'm going to lock that up like so, and there's a few little things here in paper space that I feel I could just possibly get rid of. Just that one thing there, just a little bit distractive, so I'm just going to delete those for now. They're in paper space. So what we now need to do is to go to model space, and here is our plan in model space, and straight away I've got an image under there which is going to make things a little bit awkward, but we can see all our scales there. So I'm going to just go to the home button and turn that layer off, and there's a little key here that'll turn the layer off. Turn all layers on. We want to turns off the layer of the selected object. So just going to turn that off. It should have, there it is there. Good, and here we are. We can see that we've got our plan there. So all the information's there, but if we go to here, not showing. So there it is there. And if we click into here, into the master bedroom, we can see I've got the properties there. We can see that the annotative scale there is just 1 to 50. So we could add, if we could add 1 to 40, but that would just only add it for that one particular one there. So what we can do is perhaps let's have a little bit of a fly around here and see what's going on. So what we can do is, first of all, I'm going to put that onto annotate, and you can see that straight away there's a little area up here to do with scale lists, add and delete scales, sync scales, and what have you. And also note that down here we have the same, I believe it's called a glyph or an icon. So here we have these that look like the end of a scale ruler, and they're all associated with the annotative text, or more to the point, annotative objects. So we can have annotative dimensions, text, leaders, tables, quite a number of things that are annotative, and that is that they will move and get bigger and associated with the drawing. So they can save us quite a lot of time. So if we look at this one here first, this is show annotative objects. So if I turn that off, that's what our floor plan, at 1 to 40 floor plan, looks like without the annotative objects. So we can turn that on or off, turns off that. So that's quite handy. Now this one here, if I'll just get it to display, it adds scales to annotative objects when the annotative scale changes. Okay, so if I turn that on and then I change the scale here to 1 to 40, what that does is, if we select one we had before, I think it was the master bedroom, if we select that now, first thing we notice is that we've got two, it looks like a shadowing there, and that is correct, that is 2, and each one of those, one is the 1 to 50 and one is the 1 to 40, and I'll come to that a bit later on. The one that is highlighted is the 1 to 40. Now if we come back to our annotative scale list here, we can see that we've now got both the 1 to 40 and the 1 to 50. And if we quickly head back to the floor plan, you can see there now that we have got annotative text is back again, or in paper space, so we go to model space. Our annotative text is actually there at 1 to 40. Alright, so it's in there, and we've got 1 to 40 annotative text. And the thing with the annotative text is that it will, if we select it, it will always give us the height that we have in paper space. So there we have our 1 to 40 all shown there, and then if we unlock here and go to 1 to 50, we can see that they're both shown there, and that's the scale that we drew it at. Okay, so now we've got them both there, so that's that little problem pretty much averted. And I've gone to a 1 to 100 there, inadvertently, which of course that would needs to go back and get the scale added to the scale list, but there's the 1 to 40 there. Okay, so if we were to go back to model space here, go back to model space, and we were to change this now to 1 to 100, 1 to 100, there we are, you can see that it's bigger there. Now the thing is, with this text, again we get the 3, the highlighted one is the 1 to 100. Now we can move that around, like so, and then, but the other ones are not highlighted. If I want to move the 1 to 50 text, I have to highlight the 1 to 50, click on there, and then that's the 1 to 50. Like that there. And similarly if I wanted to move. So all of the different texts for the different scales can be in quite different places if need be, due to size and what have you. So they can be rearranged. Now there is a little button up here, sync scale positions, and if we push that button there, it puts them all back to the one. It synchronizes them all to the current one. So sync scale positions will bring them all there, and that'll bring them all back again to the current 1 point. This here is to add, or this is your scale list. This is all scales. So if you wanted to add a scale to that, that's okay. And if you want to add or delete scales, that enables you to do that somehow. You've got to select an object, of course, and then that'll add or delete scales, and that you can delete the various scale lists for that. I find it easier to just select the object here or just get out of there altogether actually, and just select the object here, and there's your scale list there available in the properties, and you can add and select one there. Okay, so yes, so that's covered the concept here of being able to move them around and have them in different places depending on which scale you're using, and we can sort of give a bit of a demonstration of that here. Let's go to the 1 to 50, select where the 1 to 50 is going to go, so that'll go there, and then we can select also the 1 to 40, and that will be that one there, that's going to be there, 1 to 50 is there, and if we select the 1 to 100, which is here, that's that one, that could be there. So they can all be in different places, like so. Now, the thing is that it's an annotative scale, so no matter what the scale, the paper text height of the printing will be 3.5 millimeters. No matter what the scale, the paper text height of the printing will be 3.5 millimeters. So at this close here, we're 1 to 100, and we can see that these ones here will be roughly half that size at 1 to 50, and 1 to 40 slightly smaller again. So I'm guessing this is the 1 to 40 one up the top there. So if we click there and go to 1 to 40, that'll be the top one, and the bottom one I'm picking is 1 to 50. And if we click on that, we'll see that the 1 to 100 is twice that, and so on and so on. So that's a little bit of information about using the annotative text to your advantage and saving you a bit of time. Now let's just go back to the floor plan here, and here it is here, and you can see this is the 1 to 40 floor plan. There's bits of the scale and what have you missing. I'll just lock it up there so that we can have a look around it a bit, and you can see that it's got all the text there. And if we go into paper space, draw a little circle here, a little circle, I'm in paper space, drawing a little circle here, and I'm going to make it 1.75. Oh, okay, I haven't got my the right layer turned on. I'll just, I think that layer's turned off by the look of it. Yes, so I'll just turn on a general all-purpose layer for me to draw my little circle in, which would be 0. Okay, now, so if I come in here, draw my little circle, 1.75, which will give us a 3.5 height text, which it doesn't seem to have done actually for some reason. So that should be a 3.5 millimeter diameter. True. So let's just go to model here, and that there, a little bit of text there. Oh, the annotative, the paper space size of that is generated in the dimension styling, so I can't quite immediately see. Oh, the text height is 2 millimeters for that one. So I've got that at 2 millimeters. So if I just change my is for the text height, for the dimension height, back to paper space. If I change that there to 1 radius of 1, you can see that that text is 2 millimeters high, and that will stay at 2 millimeters high regardless of the scale, which is the whole point of this thing. So let's just go back to model. Oh no, let's just, oh, we've locked it at 2.5 there. We've got some of the dimensions missing, so they may need to be moved around a little bit, but generally we've got the text. Now we can see here we've got the master bedroom there. If we just unlock things for the moment, unlock there, and choose the 1 to 50 scale, you can see that the position of the master bedroom, the text has moved. And similarly, if we select the 1 to 100 scale, where it goes quite small, you can see that it's moved. You can see here at the 1 to 100, just locking it up and going in, the text is at 2 millimeters, but in some cases there's a bit of overwriting and things like that, and a bit of clutter there that we possibly want to sort out. So there's a little bit of some tips and things about annotative text and getting them to fit with your plan and changing the scale as the scale of your layouts changes. Cheers! See you!